Your first project is a very free-form fort. Have fun with it. I'm going to show you a quick one to create using the tools you know so far. And remember, you should be in polygon mode. We're going to open up our polygon primitives. So we go create polygon primitives. And I'm going to first start by making a few walls. So I'm going to make a cube. And I draw a cube with my left mouse button on the floor. Then I go to another window and I create the height. I want to name this in the outliner wall 1 so that I can keep track of all the items I'm going to create. Sooner than not, you're going to have 50 or 60 items in your scene. You're not going to know what they all are. Then I'm going to duplicate this by going Edit, Duplicate. I'm going to pull it over here. And look at that. I called it Wall 2 automatically because I named it _1. Then I'm going to make walls going this way and this way. So I need to go Edit, Duplicate, pull it off, and I got to rotate it by using the Rotate. And I'm going to go over here in my channel box. I'm going to rotate it in the Y because Y is up. Remember the X, Y, and Z. Because Y is up, think of that like a little pin in a piece of paper, and the paper spins around the pin. I'll show you that in person. I'm going to type 90. Look at that, it turned it 90 degrees. Then I use my Move tool, and I move it into place. And I use my Scale tool, and I scale it down to fit. And I need to see it a little more easily, so I will smooth shade, and I'll scale this down into place. Look how easy that is. Maybe I'll scale it up a little bit more. Doesn't matter if it crosses over right now. Move back into place. Then I'll go, look, I named it Wall 3. Then I'll go Edit, Duplicate. Look at that. Now I'll make a floor. I will create a cube again. I'll draw the floor from here to here. And I'll drag it up a little bit. Voila. You can hear my dogs in the background. Now, if I shade this, I can look all around at my box. I'm going to show you a super cool tool now that allows you to make modifications really quickly. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm just going to put my mouse over one of my objects, right click, and choose Face. I'm right clicking on my mouse, and I'm choosing Face, and it highlights this object. The pink side, I wait till the side I want is pink, and then I click it with my left mouse button. And look at that, it lets me move it again. And look how it changes the whole object just by moving the face. The face is a piece of that wall. All of this geometry has pieces to it, even though it is one object, and we'll discuss that in class. I'm going to extrude. I find my extrude under Edit Mesh, Extrude. What extrude does is take a piece of geometry and extend it. So let's watch and see how that works. Actually, let me get this window a little bit better so you can watch it as well. So I'm going to go Edit Mesh, Extrude. Boom. A new arrow pops up, and look what happens when I pull that out. It's a new piece of geometry, but it's connected to the old one. And looks like I can translate it, scale it, and rotate it all at the same time. Look at that fancy icon I have. So I'm just going to touch the square, which traditionally means I'm scaling, and pull that in. And look at that. I'm going to touch the arrow that means translate and pull it. Then I'm going to touch the circle that means rotate and rotate it a little bit. Then I'm touching my Alt key, my left mouse button, and I'm moving around to look at my new cool object. And I want to look at it in 3D because look at that. I have it a little bit off kilter. But you know what? I'm freeforming this, so I don't care if it's off kilter. Now I'm going to put a ball on top of it. So I'm going to create a sphere. Left mouse button, create that sphere. And I'm going to pull that up here. And move around my space. And put it on top of my wall. You see, I'm practicing looking in different viewpoints and placing it. I'm looking at it in 3D here. Nice. Then I'm going to put a torus around it. There's a torus. In my polygon primitives, I click left click torus, and I left mouse clicked and created torus and putting it around my fort. Pull it like that. Look at that. I got this super fancy, ultra cool happening place starting. Now I'm going to try to pick right mouse button on my mouse. I'm going to pick face. And I'm going to use extrude in a very fancy way. You have to be careful with your extrude because it's a very powerful tool. If you extrude and you don't move the geometry, then you're creating what's known as engons, which are illegal products in a game. They're problems, and they're something that are sinful to create. But we're just going to try using it correctly, where I extrude and immediately do something with my extrusion. So I'm going to move it down here, and what do you think I'm making? I'm making a door. So I have in my wall a door, but I can't move it yet because look, it just pulls things around, and you know what? Looks like I did something wrong. You see, I picked an extra piece of geometry by accident, and I'm moving with that. So I'm going to go Control Z until I am sure I have nothing else picked. And I'm going to redo it. I'll pick my face, and I'm going to try Edit Extrude again. I'm going to move it down. I'm going to move it in. Often you'll have that problem. And then I'm going to move it down into place. Make it up a little bit because I'm going to add some steps. Try moving it forward just to make an interesting door. Now notice I won't go in and, well, notice what I do happens when I do extrude again. Edit Mesh, Extrude. And I pull in. I have a door. So I'm going to leave it like that. You know, maybe I'll pull in a little bit, make it interesting. Pull it down. People have to walk up a little bit of a ramp, get in my door. And I like it. I may decide, I'll get rid of this face. I'll just select it and I'll press delete. Press that, delete. And I have a door into my building. Isn't that super cool? Now look, my floor is a little high now, so I need to move that down. So I need to make sure I'm in cookie mode. Pull that down. Maybe I need to scale it a little bit. Look here what I'm doing. Yeah. My goal with that is just to have a little wee bit of a floor. Bring that up a bit. So there I have a very cool looking start of a fort. And I want you to go nuts with this. Embellish it. Add lots of crazy things around. And I'll show you a few more tools a little bit later.